further into this tournament.
Team Falcons are all up to purples. They'll be ready to fight. You can see that they've got overflow on Imperial Hal as well, so he's going to be able to get those heals back nice and quickly to re-engage in fights. And they do have a walk in here on Grow Towers. Nobody's holding this high ground at the moment. Even with a couple of drones in the air, they're not going to be able to spot out Falcons, who are just taking this one slowly. There is Hot Dog Mafia, who playing on top of one of those towers and will be slowly rotating like a rotisserie chicken, trying to hit some shots. But for now, Falcons are good. Mafia will be fine. The teams outside of the zone is the concern, though. Unlimit, SAUL, Go Next, Grow Gaming, Ninjas in Pajamas should be okay down on that southern side, but a lot of ground to cover and not a lot of cover to do so with.
Just a reminder, Falcons Imperial Hal 3 kills away from that 2000. I'd be surprised if he didn't hit it this event. Now, Grow Gaming, second place at the moment, an incredible game one. Again, as I was referencing, dropped has been such an amazing player, an amazing IGL at times. They had to do it the hard way to get here. Just missed out on that winners on the grand finals via winners bracket, and then battled their way through elimination round 2. And they looked very comfortable in that lobby last night.
I think the TSM, they're the team that really are commanding how this game is going to play out, though. They've already got some KP. They have one of the best spots in zone.
TSM.
Where there's very few spots to play. Grow Gaming, though, going to be EMP'd here, and also you're going to see the Rolling Thunder come down from the Bangalore. Grow Gaming really struggling to move across this open ground, and this is the challenge that Olympus does offer teams. You cannot cross without taking damage if you're not there early, and McLovin with that triple take is causing problems. Unlimit will also be eliminated as there's a Kraber in play in the hands of E36.
Also, this is Olympus without Newcastle as well. I think it was a very important ban that happened. It would have been a completely different game if Caustic was the one that had went instead. And now teams very much struggling to get across open ground. You kind of want to rely on an altar in this scenario where you just go into that void and you end up on the other side. But even then, you've only got a second, 1.5 seconds of invulnerability. It's Hot Dog Mafia who are looking out over this one. But even they don't feel safe right now, and Al can't even get back.
Oblivion are going to cause problems. Abralele is going to be dragged back, though. You can see he's going to be recalled. Grow Gaming have finally been eliminated, so that cross just too much for them to make, and dropped will be the final player to fall. But Alliance have made a really smart rotate, by the way, right into the backside of this zone from where they were a few moments ago. It's a pretty good move from them. Falcons Imperial Hal onto Hot Dog Mafia. He's managed to hit a big banger there with the frag grenade, and they are going to push this one. They recognize that KP is going to be probably their best way to accumulate points in this game.
And they are very much sending it onto him, and he's got an initial knock, and then you back off because 2 are dead. And that's going to be yet another kill for Imperial Hal. There is one member of Hot Dog Mafia who has been able to survive and potentially able to escape here. But even then, where do you go? The zone's about to close. You're going to be forced in. Genji just got eliminated as well in that kill feed. 11 squads now left.
Yes, TSM, they tried to make a play on in one of the best spots in zone. They weren't able to do so. Go Next. They're taking damage as well as E36 will continue to rack up a few kills. That'll be Go Next, who are completely gone now. So that will be the final damage dealer to get that final player in life down to his knees and back into a death box as Imperial Hal steps forward now for Falcons, who are trying to force their way into this zone, and they're doing it by killing E36.
And that will be his 1,999th kill. He is 1 kill away.
Yeah, they're going to push off
what
that.
will be a historical 2,000 kills in his ALGS career.
McLovin from NIP also doing some damage onto E36 here. And Falcons have somehow managed to weasel their way into zone. They have tiptoed up to this zone and now are part of our top 10 squads. Kraber now also in the hands of Supernova. It's Elka who's got it.
Falcons just look unstoppable. They look fearless at the moment.
Just so measured. CNAP is measuring heads, and one of them belongs to Kajak. Last player alive here for E36, but with that big gun in his hands, he's still causing problems.
Falcons are hunting.
Guys,
and if I was the rest of the lobby, I would not want anything to do with them right now.
I was probably just thinking, someone give it to me. Someone give me that.
Does he even know?
If I know how, he probably knows. Abralele, ex-teammate. Wow. History, that would be. Supernova have been eliminated as Sinap with that Kraber takes down Kajak. And Hal has to retreat to the safety of his teammates now. Shield cell going to be popped. The overflow will get it back, but no, there's a player maybe sneaking behind him that he wasn't aware of.
The rest of the
Who's
team are
theirs?
aware of it, though. It's going to be Oblivion who are on the
Who's
other
that?
side of this.
Oblivion?
Those stairs just protecting
Yeah.
your tippy toes so you can reset here. Albrelli trying to go for a little cheeky respawn.
Just killing me solo.
Hot Dog Mafia want back in this game. Albrelli goes down. It's panic from zone once again for TSM. He'll clean that one up. How cannot get this 2000 skill? It's always that situation. It's the hardest one. It's always the hardest one. Oh, wait a
Zone's
minute.
about to close, by the way.
Hold up. Hold up. 2,000 ALGS kills for Imperial Hal, but now he's got to find some more because his teammate has just been taken down.
2,000.
We've already seen what can happen in a 2 versus 3. But what an achievement that is, much to the delight of the audience here in the Sapporo Dome. But now there's
That's
bigger
why I
fish
was-
to
that's why I
fry
was
here for
gonna
Team
stream
Falcons.
today, too.
They are back up to a 3. Great job from the rest
shoot.
of the squad just to make sure that you're going to stay healthy
You're
here.
safe.
7 squads now remain as Falcons have actually been able to find their way in on this western side with SBI above them.
Kraber in the hands of Hal as well. 4 bullets to play with. Oblivion. Lucky not to connect. Monsoon, though, with the R9, a little bit more comfortable for Hal. I will say he's one of those players with the Kraber in his hands who's a little bit hot and cold. Sometimes it doesn't look too comfortable. Sometimes it looks like he can't miss.
That's another knock as well. The stick from Imperial Hell onto Fun. All the meanwhile, Alliance are dominating the eastern side. Whilst we're following Falcon's journey, and for good reason right now, they are definitely going to have competitors on the other side of this zone. NIP will be eliminated. TSM were able to get those kills. Can they reset though? Dupe is down.
God damn, they completely
Alliance
reset
might
this
send
game.
onto TSM, and yes, they will.
It's the
They've got
Kraber
help.
again! It's the Kraber again! This time it's SBI! An Egoist who connect with a big shot here, and TSM, who have done a phenomenal job this game of holding this spot down, are now finding themselves increasingly under pressure. House found another kill onto Fun. It's going to be the Zone who does the final piece of damage after that initial stick. But Alliance, like you say, now controlling this eastern side and making the move. They hear the res. They want to see the end of TSM.
It should be a comfortable one, but you're going to not have an easy fight against Panic. Let me tell you, he's going to be going
Unlucky's down.
out, in, back, forth, and he does take down Unlucky. He'll at least take one with him, and he's not done yet. Finally, he gets eliminated.
Yeah, it's Egoist again with the Kraber who gets one of those finishes. Alliance down to 2. Unlucky needs to be brought back to his feet as Effect will jump back behind that Trident to pop this battery. Even with 2 players alive, we know that Alliance can still be a problem. And it looks like Hackis is trying to move into a position to stick this res now. It's Effect's job to hold off this push from Oblivion. The alternator is hitting.
There's no way.
But Hackis has to go huge. Last player alive for Alliance cannot do it. Oblivion
There's
through the
no way
void
they
passage will
lost
take out
that.
Alliance.
Oblivion have been so resilient, but now we check back in with Team Falcons. SBI were above them, SAUL in front of them, and Hal continuing to deal damage, but they are being very passive right now. They need help, and they will push in,
The
and they
void
get the
passage
push.
Oh, come
is
on, got this
absolutely
clutch.
perfect from how it takes them right into a very weak
What's the
SBI.
squad wipe?
They get the kills, but Guild now on his own. Barely any health to play with, gets the shield swap, and looks to confirm these kills, these downs to get the points on the board here. It's a 1v1. Oblivion just been eliminated. Elsewhere, Egoist versus,
Just gonna
I
target it
believe
in.
it's Guild,
Oblivion still.
as Guild will now fly in. Guild wins it against SBI! As the last player alive here for Falcons, but surely
There's no
now,
way.
SAUL have the simplest of jobs of winning match number 2. SAUL will be a champions here on Olympus.
That almost
What a
almost
game of Apex Legends.
would have been fucking.
Olympus certainly does offer up entertainment, if not anything else. A beautiful game from Falcons, who somehow, someway find second place in the end, but it's SAUL who will take the crown alongside 5 kills to send themselves up into second place in the series.
2,000
But Team
kills.
Falcons now find themselves 8 points away from match point after 2.
Oh,
And not
it's
only that,
200.
but we also saw history. Imperial Hal reaching 2,000 career kills in the ALGS. And how long is it going to be until anyone joins him would be my biggest question.
Well, how far away are Falcons now from match point? That's the real question. 2 games gone, and a smile on the face of that man, and why wouldn't you be smiling? Even with SAUL taking home the win in the previous game, Falcons now sit on 42 points overall as we take a look at the IGL, the CEO, and some of his stats from day 4.
I mean, what an incredible player. He's now at
God
2,002 kills, may I add. He has surpassed the 2,000, and He really does look like he's at his very best yet again. Back into his most comfortable role, back on top. And will he be lifting a trophy yet again? An ALGS championship? That is another question that still has yet to be answered. But at 8 points away, they should be, in theory, the first team that does reach match point. And then everyone else is still pretty far away. S8UL is going to be the closest at 25 after their 17-point game there. But that means all these points are being collectively taken by Team Falcon, so it's very tight elsewhere. And whilst, yes, of course, we're going to be talking about who's going to get to match point first, but you've really got to try and catch up these lobby leaders. You can't afford to slip too far behind.
Next legend to be banned will be Caustic. So Newcastle Caustic continuing to be the first legends to fall out of the pool after the bans are complete. So neither of those defensive legends will be available until potentially we do see a little bit of a reset later on. This is how things look though. Like we mentioned, 42 points for Falcons. They need just 8 points to activate match point.
Bro.
The rest of the chasing pack will know that, and Falcons are not going to have these next games easy.
Yeah, this is very terrifying for the rest of the lobby. You know full well that Falcons are more than capable of picking up 8. Is anyone brave enough to start to look for them a little bit in the lobby? Can you stop them on their rotation? Very difficult thing to do, especially when you have no idea really of where they might be coming from. Especially with some of these compositions are so similar as well. Will Falcons stick out, or will they play something that maybe goes under the radar a little bit?
All of these questions, of course, we're waiting for answers for. I mean, we've got fans from all over the world here in Sapporo. You can see them, so many fans of different teams, different organizations. And when I say so many, that's how many. It is a wall of humans in here, Dan. It is a sea of humans, and it is a sea of ALGS fans. And every single one of them has been a special, special part of this event so far.
It's unbelievable. And until you are here and witness it yourself, the pictures do it justice. But until you feel that wall of noise, it is not like anything I've experienced at an esports event ever. And if that does happen, if we do see a big win from one of these teams, maybe a Fnatic win, for example, I'm very curious to how loud this arena can get.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun indeed. We'll just have to wait and see, Dan. We're going to just still hold on to see if that's going to be the case. And I'll tell you what, man, he's been very busy this morning. His name is Ryan, and he's down on the stage right now. Ryan, who have you found this time around?
また特別な方がいらっしゃっています。皆様、オズワルド様でございます。大きな拍手をお願いします。I am blessed by the presence of an absolutely spectacular performer. I mean, what an amazing STEM-up performance he delivered for us earlier today. And I just want to ask him a few questions about his inspiration behind that track. そうですね。時間くれてありがとうございます。ありがとうございます。ここ札幌でこんなにもたくさんの観客の前でパフォーマンスをされていかがでしたか？
いやすごいなんか今回に関しては自分がメインというよりも自分がこの大会を盛り上げる一部になれるっていうことにもう本当に光栄に思ってます。はい。
So I asked him what it's like for him to come here to the finals and perform in front of all these amazing people, and he said that, you know, it makes a change because normally he's the main act, he's the main character, but he felt like he was just a small cog in a huge well-oiled machine trying to boost the quality of the show, and that was a really nice experience for him. そして I want to ask him about STEM-up now. What's his inspiration? Where did this all come from? 続いて STEM-up のインスピレーションは何でしたか？
スティームアップ自分の作らせてもらった今回のテーマソングなんですけど、それのインスピレーションはもう完全に自分が好きなキャラクターのオクタンから、はい、インスピレーションをもらって作りました。はい。
So his inspiration comes from his favorite legend, Octane. That's literally where it comes from, and yeah, he's very adamant that, you know, this is what boosted his creative juices and brought STEM up to fruition. So yeah, amazing stuff. 続いて。まあ聞かなくても多分いいんですけれども、APEX の一番好きなレジェンドは誰でしょうか？
ヒューズです。冗談です。オクタンです。
はい。So I asked him what his favorite legend was, and it's Octane. For those who didn't know, it's Octane. で最後に決勝戦なんですけれども、誰の優勝を応援してますか？
いやそうですね。なんか。やっぱ本当世界から集まってくれてるみんなが本当頑張ってくれてね、なんか切磋琢磨頑張ってくれるの一番嬉しいんですけど、やっぱこの開催地の日本としては、日本の チームに優勝してくれたら嬉しいですね、自分は。
Hi. So I wanted to know, he's watching the tournament as well. He's having a great time. He's been up in the bleachers there, chilling with people. And I wanted to know who he thinks is going to win. And he says, you know what? He's got to be really honest. As much as he appreciates everyone that's traveled here from all over the world, he wants to see a Japanese team go all the way. 日本チーム応援してますね。
応援してます。
はい。皆様も日本チーム応援してますか？おい。賛成ですね、賛成ですね。わざわざ ALGS ファイナルズまで来てくださっていますが、ネッシーのプレゼントがあります。ネッシーをどうぞ、ちょっとこれをちょっと見てください。メガネもついてます。はい、どうぞ。
ありがとうございます。おお、すごい、オクタンのメガネ。
オズワードのパフォーマンスいかがでしたでしょうか？とてもかっこよかったです。とてもかっこよかったです。来てくれて本当にありがとうございます。
ありがとうございました。引き続き楽しんでください。
ありがとうございます。That's it, Oswald. Amazing performance. Great stuff from him. Back to you guys at the desk. Take it away.
Thank you so much, Reinhardt. Thank you so much, Oswald. We are here with another ALGS championship. We got World's Edge among us, game number 3, and Falcons are looking to speed run already. 40+ points after 2 games alone.
Yeah, I don't know how many games we're getting today if they keep playing this well. And if it wasn't any worse for the other 19 teams out there right now, Vicky, we are about to go into Falcons' #1 draft pick. Skyhook West, arguably the most powerful POI on any of the 4 maps we are playing today here at the Grand Finals.
I mean, can it be done here? I mean, they have to keep up the momentum, right? And as we go through these different maps, and it's in the snake draft kind of format too, you have to also realize that there are legend bans to be dealt with. Although how Papanafi got his 2K career kills in the ALGS, that is not easy. But with the years of dedication, you've heard it from Hal himself. He means business. He wants to showcase why he is the best, why they nickname him the CEO. But Falcons, they haven't achieved that 50-point threshold yet. $2 million on the line for a total prize pool. And we have fans from all around the world, Japan, showing up in the crowd.
I mean, with an average of 21 points a game so far, it does not seem very far-fetched that they could get a third of that and make their way across the line to have the potential to win from game 4 onwards. Look, we've had some close calls, Vicky. We've been there, holding our breath as Optic almost did it in 4. But it's going to be such a tough slog because we were looking at some of the other numbers before, and most match point finals at LAN tend to finish at game 7, 8, or 9. If they could do it any faster than that, it'd be incredible. Of course, Falcons currently holding the LAN record with game 6 at New Orleans earlier this year. Here's the draft. As you can see, a couple of teams going in for this one early with Falcons at Skyhook West. They don't get Skyhook East to themselves. A lot of times that has gone unpicked so far this LAN, but Ninjas in Pajamas will be slotting in over there, and I've got a shout out to them as well, honestly. They had, I think it was 19th seed and ended up with an incredible draft.
It's great with a lot of teams prioritizing World's Edge when it comes to these tricky rotations and expecting, I mean, we have no Newcastle, right, after game number 1, so that goes hand in hand with the amount of alters that you just saw in that previous game. I'm expecting to see more alters going into game number 3 here on World's Edge. But as you said, with Team Falcons holding that record, coming out of the elimination bracket, by the way, and taking it in 6 games, this is a different iteration of Falcons, and this is a different level of competition from the rest of our teams in this lobby.
No stumbles here in Sapporo just yet. As you said, the lower bracket run in no lie. We talked to Waltzy a little bit yesterday, and he was saying how, sometimes it feels like you just need to get some games in. That actually sharpened their skills. It, put them to the whetstone in the LAN earlier in 2025. But here, I don't know if they needed any more sharpening, Vicky. I mean, how much better could they be doing? Realistically, very little. We saw the moments at the end game there where people were taking aim at them with a Kraber, and they've said that's actually one of the only variables that they can't account for yet.
almost everything else, it feels like they've got sorted out. But the Kraber is the one thing that it still feels like can deal with the #1 team on this stage right now.
Maybe leaning into some human error like we saw there in that previous game. Counting their blessings as much as they can as we take a look at where this zone is pulling. Perhaps towards that cliffside or even that building by that Moby respawn. And you can already see Oblivion making their rotation where they have a ring console in landside as well as that survey beacon. Fnatic trailing right behind them. And we talked about the POI priority from Team Falcons who like to split loot here over by Trials as well as Skyhook West. They have that survey, they have that ring console, and they're denying that information from the team that lands in Skyhook East, which is NIP.
Yeah, sometimes you have to venture over the other side. But yeah, with the 2 survey beacons there, actually they're pretty blessed. They've even got an Evo Harvester like right on the way out. It couldn't be any, they couldn't make it any easier for them to grab that first little bit of Evo, especially if you happen to get some bricks over in Trials. This particularly is what makes this POI better than any other, Vicky. It's the fact that you can get 1, sometimes even 2 Evo upgrades immediately. Look at this. Hal is on purple. Do you see anybody else on the map on purple, Vicky? No, you don't, because there's nowhere else you can get a brick until you open a vault and get lucky, or maybe get one of the early care packages, which of course haven't even spawned yet.
It's going to work amazingly to the composition of Falcons, playing on the edge, trailing right behind some more of these teams who have already gone ahead and rotated like NIP through the choke of the Volt Tunnel that exits out of Skyhook. Alliance, who sometimes split loot over to that northern side of the train tracks where there is that balloon, so that way we have that one straggler rejoin with the rest of the team, but not risking anything, right? Because they had the survey beacon, they had the ring console, just in case ninjas in pajamas wanted to do something similar. So a lot of these teams also opting for the altar. I believe altar will actually get banned in the next game. 14 altar picks in this lobby as Alliance now move up to see if anybody's in the tunnel, because Hot Dog Mafia are right there trailing on the other side of the map. But now you have to be careful, because S8UL, your winners of game number 2, could go in for a sandwich, but they're going to be evacuating as Alliance are engaging the fight versus Hot Dog Mafia.
S8 also looking on from landslide here. Hot Dog have to be very careful. And it might be too late for them already. Albralele full kill. Rambo down. It's just Skittles, who I believe is still up and running.
Now as a solo. No Cossack in sight after we said goodbye to Cossack and put him in jail after game number 1. Glizzy Mafia trying to hold on to their life with just the solo. And you could see the scan too on that survey beacon to call them out. And TSM, I love the energy in the arena when TSM had their walkout. Trying to hide here on the other side of Harvester. And in a zone like this, there's a lot of spots to coexist in Harvester. Could get a little risky if you go for some early rotates in the middle, but even better though, if you look at Fnatic, we've seen so many zones pulled to this side, but we talk about rotating early. This is another one of the spots where you have to be careful, because then on the other side to their south, there could be teams that could try to snipe them out. You can see the triple take out in the distance, but their main focus are any teams that rotate from that tunnel side that exits out of landslide, which is where Alliance is going to be moving from.
Yeah, I'd also say it's anything but a no-fly zone over here, and with Valk still in play, Fnatic do have to be very worried about those missile swarm slams. Skittle Cakes trying to get away here and grab the res. I was looking at some interesting new stats we got access to from our boy Hugo on the stats desk, Vicky. Skittles was actually, as far as team fights go, the least likely player to get knocked in the entire server. He is, so you can understand why he's the one still alive here, even though he's not the Crypto with Invis, he's not the Altar with escape options, even on the relatively slow Watson, for this game at least. Somehow, he is always the one getting the job done or getting away.
I love the survivability, and with the Watson, he can bunker down because Hot Dog Mafia are looking for this reset, and S8UL have heard of it. They're rotating on the edge of staging, and they had a ring console on their rotate, leaving out a Mirage Etoile, where there's also a survey, so they got the information to see which teams have been moving from the north side before they try to show their face over by the house on the cliffside of the south part of the survey beacon by staging. and trying to make sure that their backs are cleared, because technically NIP, they actually ended up rotating back towards Skyhook because they wanted that Evil Harvester that put How to purple, and they're going to take a solo rotate out of Countdown. So this could be two teams that could opt to rotate from S8UL's western side of the zone.
S8 have already proven themselves as a team that is very capable of getting to those end zones. Last game, it worked out for them. They actually bided their time and then came in for the third party. The game before that, Vicky, it wasn't quite as good. Falcons were taking more space, and S8 could have been more proactive and maybe changed their fate. I'm going to have a look at this map right here. It goes down towards Harvester, extremely expected. All the teams know this. If you look at where the mountains are in this zone, there's not enough space to the north of them for this zone to end in landslide or towards Monument. It has to go Harvester, extremely easy zone to read for all of these IGLs.
Which is why when you still have the Valkyrie in play, like you noted before, you have to be careful to see which one of these teams want to go for a Hail Mary dive and trying to find their own spot into that next zone. It would be very difficult unless it could coexist in the underparts of Harvester, but with the amount of altars, you also have to keep your eye out for any kidnapping opportunities too. With this zone now moving over to that cliffside that Fnatic had called out by Harvester, Alliance have also taken their time because with the Crypto drones, they're also going to be able to scan to see which squads are going to be rotating in their direction.
There you go. Something you can do with the Void Passage, you can do with very few other abilities. So much mobility. Just with that one piece of utility there. And I guess the other thing to note here, Vicky, is for Shopify Rebellion, you don't have the IGL on Alta. Zainu has taken over. Obviously, he's talked about how this is his first LAN as an IGL. Obviously, he's been doing pretty well. He's made it to the finals. But he's got Koifel on the altar. And part of the reason for that is that these guys are just so in sync, and he trusts Koifel to make plays on his own. Altar is basically impossible to micromanage a teammate on, because the windows you have to make these plays is just so short. Like, you almost can't even comment. So the fact that they do have Koifel on that is, I'd say, a luxury that most other teams cannot afford.
It makes the most sense when you have a heavy fragger player like Koifel. As we take a look at NIP, who again are playing objective, we talked about how they took their time going right back to Sky West, going through Countdown, now through Mirage Etoile, trailing behind S8UL on the exact same pathing of side quests that they were doing. NIP are approaching right behind them here, as S8UL have to be careful. Sharky with a nade at his door, loses out on his shield, but the ramparts are out. You have to be careful with the Sheila, and it blocks out the Sparrow just slightly.
I think that was, I think that was a bit of a mistake there from Kurev, right? He wanted to get it in there and push them out, isn't able to. Now they're facing down a Sheila.
And Fnatic also gets some knocks here in the feed. They're getting involved as NIP get the next knock. One left for S8UL before they're the first team to fall in this game 3.
I don't think there was anything SA could do about that. They try and move back room by room and hold themselves, but with the damage coming from the other way, nothing to do. Falcons, they need 8 points for match point.
Alliance versus Falcons, with Hao being the first to get knocked. They want to go for a reset. They do not like taking this fight. We saw Alliance holding this tunnel side for a very long time, and Falcons now rotating on this end. Also had the beacon behind them, but they don't want to risk it before backing away. As Waltzy, they could not get Hao. They took the portal back, and now they have to get the banner.
This could be an opportunity, or maybe very unfortunate for S8UL. They're currently in the area. They thought landslide would be unoccupied, and perhaps they'd be able to get the reset there, but all of a sudden, Falcons have to use the Void Nexus to back out, and they push S8 even further out into the zone.
Can Guild get this res? Waltzy looks like he's trying to get finished here, because he already got the banner, and after utilizing that replicator, he can only get Hao's banner. S8UL, though, didn't have that same legacy.
He had 6 syringes. I don't know if he can even survive. I guess he'll have to try and find a replicator and maybe get a med kit out. I mean, we are in zone 3. It ticks hard.
Guild trying to plan ahead with the Evil Harvester right next to him. Can he get this reset for Team Falcons, who are at 42 points? Match point being 50. It's looking a little grim here. Hopefully he's got the meds, it looks like, before trying to back into the zone. Go next, at least now go and take the place of Team Falcons to look at Alliance, who have stationed up in the choke, where we saw Hot Dog Mafia by staging and these rampart walls. Gen G being another one of those teams. Asia has not let go of the Mad Maggie, and I don't expect anything different here for a team like this. As also Legacy really improving coming through as Team Falcons do get the respawn and the reset on Waltzy and Hao.
Yep, S8 got it just before them, and they are Valk ulting, maybe evacing in right now. They go over the respawn ship here as Falcons drop in. Ultimate's dropping down now. S8, they don't really want to fight. They've got so few health.
Exactly. That's why you see Legacy's 1 HP. They didn't want to risk it at first. They want to be able to reset. If they can't take that fight as Supernova, they look at Unlimited. They get eliminated. First squad to go out with our Red Bull first strike. Supernova looking at to make sure that there is no 3P here before going right back up to the high ground. You see 9 Impulse too. Gonna be able to try to get that reset with Falcons now moving in for the fight.
Here's that forced fight between Falcons and S8. The zone is coming in. Neither of them really have any options, but you saw S8 had 5 or 10 seconds to their advantage, and they've used it to take out Team Falcons. They will not find match point in match 3.
Double donut game for Falcons. Not a single point on the board for game number 3. We keep this going as Crazy Thieves, Jen Burden on the Mad Maggie himself, left knocked 1. Pro Gaming get eliminated, and this is where Crazy Thieves, they see the craziness happening in front of them because it was also the fight for the ring console that's right beside them. We saw that Legacy were holding that split angle over by Harvester, and they had the information on where that zone was pulling.
This is a super weird zone, actually. I don't think the teams are going to be expecting how much of this is in the middle of Harvester. We're seeing it in the map pip right now. Look at that. There's barely any space outside of the Harvester building and the Snake. I mean, Oblivion are sitting pretty. 5 Fears and Legacy will love this. Crazy Thieves should be able to rotate around from that northeast side, but my lord, teams like Shopify Rebellion and Gen G, who thought they were in a primo spot, are going to be, well, probably slamming their desks right now.
I mean, if anything, 5 Fears, so this is their POI. As Supernova get eliminated, they had gotten that ring console. They saw this as they predicted where that zone was pooling when they had the opportunity. Legacy now looking at SBI. Look at where they're coddled, though. Into this corner with the rampart walls. I mean, they have to, right? Because there's so many teams holding the high ground, but it's going to be difficult with Legacy being right there.
Look like some fire Pokemon down there. Like, why aren't they taking damage from the lava? I guess they found just that little bit of cool rock to sit on.
Some volcanic foundation for them. See, snipers as Fnatic still hold on to the high ground. The Blaze with the purple Evo. Colonel Garcia behind the rampart walls. As everything is sent in their direction, from nades to the lava. They may have heard Eugene on the EMP to delete the rampart walls. Asia's hungry, and they're looking to take these fights. And look at the stacked alternator and the R9 in this weapon loadout that he's rocking.
I think Asia's actually going to be pretty mad right now. How did that wrecking ball and the drill not hit? If Mad Maggie is meant to be able to do one thing, it is to absolutely pulverize teams who are in small corners like that. Somehow, it didn't work out. Whatever, they got the kills, it's fine. Put enough pressure on them to swing, which Gen G needed, right? Because they were on that southern side.
You know, just a rock in a hard place here. And as NIP, they lost out on McLovin. Vayne having to play around the other side of the knockdown shield. Lou, though, he was 1. He gets sent down. Slayer having to reset around these rampart walls. NIP have been jumping on top of the heads of a lot of these teams as Kurip still alive. Gold G7 in the hands of McLovin.
Ninjas in pajamas, are they thinking about the almost land win they had near Harvester, or have they been able to clear that from their minds and play with a fresh perspective here? It's going to be a little tougher for them as they move in from the west side. They're on top of Virtus Pro right now, a team who has had a fantastic tournament until today started.
One of those teams that takes a little bit of time to find that momentum. We see Shopify, by the way, popping off in the feed. Gen G have now traded places with SBI that they harassed and now are playing off that low ground. NIP have been taking a good chunk of damage, but they got 2 knocks onto VP. It's only up to NT. And Vayne As the kill leader, this entire squad now has 10 KP as they wipe out another team, it looks like, just trying to find that last straggler as VP. They finally call him out. They get taken out. 11 squads now left.
Vayne often cited as one of the most underrated players in Apex, flies under the radar a little bit. Maybe we wouldn't be saying that if he had been the one lifting the trophy earlier last year. Asia continues to impose his will upon the lobby.
Oh my goodness.
Gen panic down now. That's the full team wipe.
I mean, that's what happens when you have an R9 and alternator with the double tap included in your weapon loadout. He's looking to take every fight. TSM get eliminated. Now Fnatic, they drop down from the high ground after they see the zone closing right in front of them, but the Sheila is harassing them from the back.
That's Oblivion underneath them. They are center zone. If Yuka can get the reset here, maybe Fnatic are in for a big game, but it is not to be. Verhulst chips in and Fnatic will be eliminated.
Remember where Oblivion was from the very beginning. Coming out of landside, they went for a quick rotate. That's why they find themselves inside this side building with Monsoon dressed up in the mid outfit. Legacy, Nizul getting the follow-up with the nade. Ninjas in Pajamas get eliminated. 7 squads left, and Oblivion are trying to get involved in this fight. They see E36 hiding from right underneath their building.
Gen G grab 5 KP, but they can't make it into the top 7. Shopify, they look like they're in all sorts of pain here, trying to take the 1v1 against Flow. And it's the Hitfire Scout to finish it off.
He still got the KP though. That's what they wanted. Remember, this is match point finals. You still need 50. After they get taken out, the S8UL now climb up on the height.
I think that was an Arc Star after 5 Fierce died that finished Shopify
The Marty
off.
Dome. The Marty Dome in a different form. Getting a little bit of that revenge. No placement points, no reset.
Oh my god.
Shopify is S8UL. They're looking to take the back-to-back.
Yeah, they're also up to 36 points, Vicky, and looking to overtake Falcons with a big end game here. They are just so judicious in the way they decide which fights to take. And that's why you're always seeing them in these end games. They don't take risks that they don't need to. Sharky is known for not making mistakes.
Legacy are right behind them, though. They've also been able to secure 5 KP behind S8UL7.
What's going on, chat?
And looking at Oblivion, in a 3-way box, everybody stationed up in a zone like this, while Legacy are hiding right below.
There's no
CRT,
way.
Phony's looking at them. You see the EMP. It's just a 3-2-1 go as Jen's on the Mad Maggie. It wasn't their EMP. Now they have to look behind them because the Alter TPs set them from right there. Legacy get eliminated. They deter the pressure, but this is time for E36 to clean up what is left.
Couple of cryptos left. Do we see the EMPs come out?
S8UL, though, there's no team looking at S8UL. Oblivion do know they are there, but Crazy Thieves are focused at E36.
They creep in. I'm sure they're setting up those rampart barriers.
Oh, but they moved out from the high ground. Crazy Thieves, they get eliminated. S8UL, they capitalize. They're at 43 points right now. They're looking to take the dub. 2 squads left with Oblivion still on the other side of the building.
Oh my god, Jesco looks so locked in. Oblivion, they are going to be running straight into the crosshair of Jesco. Maybe they can wait it out. An Alter TP? No, doesn't go. Maybe the backstab? So many options. They could take match point with this.
They're looking to steamroll the speed run, but they lose on a 1. It's only up to Legacy. Can he keep it up? But Oblivion, oh my god, triple takes shots. The melee, he's won. Legacy, he's hiding behind the knockdown shield. No! Oblivion!
Oh my
They
god.
stopped them short. Remember who we
1
are.
HP
As
club.
Oblivion take game number 3.
Yo, it's rolling on the ground.
Can't keep them in the retirement home,
dude,
Genome. Oblivion with the clutch in
why
a
is it
crazy
not
1v1.
Let's go, baby. Monsoon may have left his earthly body if he had lost another 1v1 to melees. For his mental health, I am so happy that he won that. And it would, I mean, the decision making from Legacy there at the end, honestly, I think it must have been pressure, right? Because he hits one melee. Like, he can see the health bar. That's a change we've had in Apex for a while now. He only needed one more melee. I mean, how much do you practice? It's not necessarily that easy to hit, but God, that triple take felt like it took 150 years to reload.
Yeah, this is...
Thought you had to rely on that
This is gonna
triple
get
take
like
hip fire,
fucking
man.
6, I already know.
It gets tough, but with Oblivion coming out on top this time with that 1v1 and the dub, they keep themselves in contention with 18 total points that game.
I kind of wish Jesko had have felt himself a little bit more there. He had the option to swing behind and get a backstab as they were pushing out of the snake. He doesn't do it. He decides to stick behind his amped cover, right? And then it's Oblivion that get the swing around and catch him off on the off angle. It could have been them.
Now forcing them to hide behind those knockdown shields here too. S8UL, so far in the series results, look at how intense this is. S8UL almost went back-to-back, but no match point, 50-point threshold. 45 points right now for S8UL, as Team Falcons didn't put a single point on the board for game number 3.
No, I mean, they could have an okay game next time and still not tick over.
And that's what their POI, by the way. The POI advantage that they had as first seed into World's Edge. And of course, here in Match Point Finals, Gino, we got E-District on the horizon.
And I mean, you can get unlucky with Skyhook West sometimes, right? It could pull to you. We've seen, we've all seen Alliance struggling with that, and we say sometimes that's why they didn't win a whole LAN. You can also sometimes not get the brick when you finish trials. We saw Hal. He got it. He was purple straight away. So things, it's not necessarily that they weren't going their way, but Falcons, look, still 42 points. S8 overtake them now. Oh my God, Sharky? Sharky with the 3rd trophy?
I was gonna say, he heard you, Genome. He heard you, and you gave him the power. But can they keep it up? Because that is 3 games done, and we already are looking at 2 teams that are inching closer to the 50 points. I want to hear more from you guys at the desk after the action that we just saw.
Thank you, Vicky and Genome. Great cast there. I got to say, if Genome casts any more games, Apex South is certainly going to win the championship with how much of a fan he is. And, you know, I love it because he's got to represent. Welcome back. Rainday here as your host. After 3, we've seen Falcons, we've seen S8UL, and Oblivion take a win. Big implications for that. Remember, prizing goes to first place for our Match Point Finals winner. But those push-ups, that represents a potential tens of thousands of dollars that could be in Monsoon's hands if it were to finish with them in 3rd. So a lot to be excited about, and for me as well, because we've got a new desk joining us at halftime. It's Dia, it's SpiderTiff off the cast, and Graceful back in the mix. Welcome, guys. Dia, that was a great game, and what's better than a full stadium in Sapporo and a 1v1 to finish off game 3?
Yeah, it's been incredibly impressive from minute 1, even before the game started today, having the teams welcomed by such a massive sold-out arena, I might add. But the games certainly have not disappointed. Falcons, of course, with that big game 1, really set the tone. And since then, the Oblivion win just now demonstrates exactly what you're talking about, Rainday, that scrapping, never giving up can really pay off in these Match Point Finals.
I mean, a dominant performance from Falcons. S8UL have been there, almost back-to-back wins. Tiff, what stood out to you in these first 3 to set the tone for our Match Point Finals?
I mean, Match Point Finals are just something that's completely different, right? You look at our winners bracket yesterday. S8UL and Oblivion were both in it, but unfortunately, they were in the bottom 10, forced down, and having to scrap through the Elim round 2. So to come out on this stage was almost very similar to what that winner's round looked like, and to perform this much better, that's a regain if I've ever seen one. That Oblivion win right there was more points than they in turn earned in an entire series yesterday.
You've got to be happy, Graceful. 32 points. At the end of a lobby like this, you're going to be somewhere in a decent mix. One more big win, one more big game. Oblivion's looking good. Having sat next to Monsoon, as Snipedown basically missed his flight, Monsoon and I were barely on ours to get here. It's a long way away from now sitting in a position where you could be 3rd place with hundreds of thousands of dollars in your pocket.
Yeah, I mean, life-changing money, really. But the biggest thing that we've seen throughout the all 3 matches is how hungry people are. There was 12 Team Circle 5, and you see proactive plays endlessly. right team is trying to ape you, left team is trying to ape you, they're trying to go for you, you get double swung, you down one, somebody is altering behind you, like it was absolutely crazy. But here, even the clips that we see overall here, Falcons in general, you know how Hal said it felt like a ranked game? They won the first game and they got second the second game. They have been absolutely crushing it, and I got a little bit scared, but at least for the third game, as you said, it didn't, you know, pop up the third game, so the other teams are showing up even more as well, because there's only so much you can highlight when a team or two is taking over the game.
I mean, this is a benefit not just to the players in the lobby who get a chance to not have someone else on match point, but to the fans as well. We're going more games. SAUL just narrowly miss out thanks to Oblivion, but Dia, this game too, I mean, this is where they started to find their rhythm.
Yeah, this looked like a real comfort zone for Falcons as well, to be honest. Even the fact that Guild managed to secure them second place by eliminating SBI proved to me that Falcons were still firing on all cylinders. They had not taken a break from game one, but it was a big step up for SAUL, one of our most consistent teams from the group and elimination stage.
You cast Olympus, Tiff. Do you feel there's just a sense of being able to go for it more when you're on these familiar maps like World's Edge, like Stormpoint, that give these players a sense of comfort heading into a big moment where nerves often sometimes take main stage?
I think so, because if you were watching the POI draft, a lot of the teams were focusing on those Stormpoint POIs, those World's Edge, so they know that they can get the majority of their points there, and then they'll filter in with maybe E-District or even Olympus. Olympus is still that really large question mark in a lot of our team's tool belts, which is why you're looking forward to the analysts, the coaches, to make sure that they've done their recon. Of course, we had it in scrims, but it doesn't always play out like that once you get to this main stage. Now, I do want to give a huge shout out to Ruby Caster there. That's going to be the Oblivion coach and analyst, and that is so much information to bring to the table to put them on the top thus far, and I would love to see that momentum continue.
Let's take a look at our standings here after 3 as we settle into not yet a team who has crossed match point finals threshold. For those joining us, you have to reach 50 points. But if you reach 50 points, let's say next game, Falcons get their 8 or 9 needed, that's not the win. They've got to win after that. So we at least have 2 more games, considering that SAUL and Team Falcons most likely will cross it the next game. But you never know. And of course, when you look at Team Falcons, betting against them, it's a very difficult thing to do. Statistically, not only have they been one of the best performing teams this tournament, but today, they're first overall in the ability to have points on Stormpoint, Olympus as well, 16 points. They dropped the dud on World's Edge. Graceful, what does that say to you? What went wrong in that third game?
I mean, it's so hard to pinpoint immediately, but looking at how many teams were alive and people were opting for fast road, it was absolutely crazy. That reminded me of several years ago when everybody just knew how to play fast zone and were kind of scared of taking fights because everybody was going to 3P, which ended up happening, and now every Alter was absolutely just trying to get whatever KP they could, which is why we also see that Alter ended up getting banned. Yeah. So now the proactive play is going to be way less, because the options you have now is no longer, you can't really just take a peek and try to get something. Right. You're either committing now, either for the kill or get wiped, and that's going to make people maybe even prone to be less, more passive, I would say.
It's going to be an interesting one, guys, as we head into the second half of these games, or I guess the next 3 before you see this desk come back out. For those who are a fan of ALGS Esports, we've got something even more exciting to announce than Game 4 starting. That's Year 6 starting. That's right, an announcement for the pathway to the ALGS Year 6. You already knew we were coming back to Sapporo for 2027, but we've got our locations of our lands ready to be released now. Riyadh will be where we take place with our Split 1 playoffs, but we will return to having a Split 2 playoffs, and the home will be Las Vegas for this year. Exciting stuff. Book your tickets. You know that is going to be popping. And of course, Sapporo, we will return to champs. The dates are right there. Take a picture, settle in, take PTO now, because it is going to be a jam-packed year, returning to those fan favorites of the global lands. Also, a big note, we're actually increasing the prize pool. It's going up to $7 million. So each of those playoffs will have a $2 million prize pool, the same as champs. Very exciting, plus our $500,000 per each split for our regions. What a treat. Everyone in the ALGS community and fans, I'm sure you're very happy. And speaking of news, well, Nicewig had his own idea of how to present some news about Apex Legends. I happened to be, drawn along with him, and it didn't turn out the way I was hoping for, but I think he had a lot of fun. Check it out.
playing the guy with the Belgian guy.
Good evening. Welcome to ALGS Today, tonight, the home of all of your ALGS news.
And I'm Wig.
Yes. Our top story tonight.
I talked to an eyewitness who reveals the real truth about why Hal and Zero split up.
I can't wait for that. But first, let's check in with our weatherman, Monsoon, who's outside the arena now. Monsoon, how's it looking out there, buddy?
It's cold out here, guys. There's a lot of snow. It's been pretty dangerous.
Glad that's not me out there, Rain.
Ooh, you're telling me. On to roster updates. 100 Thieves will compete in this event as Crazy Thieves. And full disclosure, my co-anchor is also the co-owner.
Damn right. How about you tighten up when you're next to a co-owner like that, Rain? The next segment isn't really news related, but anyone knows the next land location, please tell me. They don't tell me anything anymore, and I don't know why.
They don't tell you these things because...
Oh my God. Yeah, Wig likes to leak things. Yeah, dude, I get it. Whatever, man.
Exactly. It's time now for our Phony Report. We've got the main man himself standing by with some of the players.
Yo, Phony, what's good? My boy, how we doing down there, man?
Honestly, I'm just chilling, bro.
Facts. Be good, bro. Be good out there.
All right, see you later, big man.
Wait, Phony, come back.
What do you want, Rain?
You didn't ask anybody anything. Listen, there's some players behind you. There's Sorale. I see them over there. Ask them a question. They must be excited to play in front of their home crowd.
I got it. There's a big moment for you. What are you looking forward to the most today?
相手を札幌に来たことに後悔させるぐらいにぶっ飛ばすのが楽しみです。あなたも含め誰一人として容赦はしません。そこのお前もな。
I mean, Falcons is
I don't know what he just said, but I'm sure it was nice. Back to you guys.
Phony, there is no one like you, my man. You're doing the best out there. You're the best, bro, I swear.
Yeah, the best. Let's just go to our top story of the night.
Hal and Zero, rivals, turned teammates, now rivals once again. We all know the story. Zero left Hal. It wasn't a fit of personalities, or was it? I have received some information from a strong insider source as to the real reason as to why they split up. Now, I know you want to keep your identity a secret, but tell us what you know.
Zero and Hal, they didn't hate each other. They were the bestest of friends. They knew they needed to split up in order to bring the drama back to Apex. The arguments on stream, the crash outs, it was for content. They did it for us.
You heard it from me first. Two of the ALGS's biggest players conspiring together for the good of the scene.
Wait, Wig, this is not quite adding up.
I know you're gonna doubt it, but we can hear it from the players themselves. Here is what Zero had to say.
That's right. We had to separate in order to grow.
Wow. Is there anything else you want to say?
Nice haircut. I am jealous.
Zero admits it all. What does Hal have to say?
Zero and I are best friends. We watch television together every night.
And there you have it. You can catch more exclusive ALGS information over on the B Stream.
Man, I knew there was something to this, man. That didn't look like Walsey in that clip. He was a little smaller. Play the rest of that clip.
They did it for us.
Listen, I don't think we're fooling anyone with this dude. I don't even lift as much as Walsey.
God damn it, Wig. Why are you guys always trying to come up with a conspiracy?
You are telling me that he just left randomly. Yeah, no.
You two keep trying to bring viewers to the B Stream. What is going on? Y'all don't have enough.
You never know about this stuff, right? You literally never know.
They are clearly not best friends.
What a load of best friends? Who would believe that?
I know, right? So stupid. You want some chocolate?
Why did it pause? Yo. My fucking... Okay.
When enamel is gone, you cannot get it back, but you can repair it with Pronamel Repair. It penetrates deep into the tooth to actively repair acid-weakened enamel. I recommend Pronamel Repair. With new Pronamel Repair mouthwash, you can enhance that repair beyond brushing. They work great together.
Hot and steamy out.
When enamel is gone, you cannot get it back,
Okay,
but you can
at least
repair
they
it with
actually
Pronamel
control
Repair.
their
It penetrates
items.
deep into the tooth to actively repair acid-weakened enamel. I recommend Pronamel Repair. With new Pronamel Repair mouthwash, you can enhance that repair beyond brushing. They work great together.
A hot and steamy au jus is the king of dips. It enhances the flavor of everything. Roast beef, onions, cheese. I would dip everything in au jus if I could. Everything. Firefighter approved. And if you want some savings, order on the app.
But clearly, everybody was fast rotating, specifically tied to World's Edge. Other maps now that, especially since we're swapping one by one, they will have more time to play their own playstyle, hopefully, rather than getting mashed up in macros with everyone.
Well, it's been a great opportunity here to take a break, give our players a chance to reset. Falcons, S8UL, almost on the cusp. Who's going to stop them, or will they keep on going? Let's bring our casters ready into the action. Again, it's Vicky, Kitty, and Genome to continue it on.
I believe in those news. I believe in that. You know, at least it's not Nicewig crashing out during Roster Mania when they were in the back room together, Brain Day and Nicewig. I love our content pieces here in the ALGS, but I love the competition even more because we got some more Apex and we get another Legend Band as Alter is sent to jail. We got E-District on the horizon.
Kind of interesting, right? Her best map, District, Alta is no longer on the table. And also interesting what Graceful was talking about there with, you know, teams just trying to survive a little later, or the turbo rotating teams, because when we looked at our stats across the 4 maps and the differences between them, one of the things we saw was that more teams were alive later in the game on E-District than any other map.
A lot of space to coexist and a lot of energy in this crowd. As we get started, everybody, game number 4 on E-District. We got the back-to-back, by the way, on E-District, which is important to note for the teams that may find that momentum very early on here in this game number 4. Because again, game number 5 will be brought back to this map. And I feel like at this point, since it is match point format, a lot of teams, even though they have been playing more reserved, like we've been seeing at the beginning portion of these games, they have the opportunity to try to frag out. They want to get that extra KP and play for that placement, as a lot of these teams also playing for the objective and getting these ring consoles, because we are moving all the way down south towards where Legacy is by Shipyard Arcade, and they'll get the scoop too because they got the ring console as well as a survey beacon.
Yeah, look, I'm definitely expecting a pull back up to draft point. I think we've had about 1 Shipyard Arcade ending in the last, like, 1,000 maps we've tracked or something. So if that happens, we can pop off. It's like unlocking one of those,
Gotcha. Are you talking
the cards? I don't do cards enough. Unwrapping them? Is that what it's called? Anyway, unwrapping like a Holo Nessie, man. Like the ultra rare stuff. That's what would happen if it went down to Shipyard Arcade. I'm picking draft point. Viaduct, don't know about that one. Might be a little on the outside chances, but either way, Legacy are pretty close. Of course, the other Legacy on the map, S8 Legacy, he's a little bit further away. They start over at City Hall, and they were very happy. They got 3 out of their 4 POI picks.
And with 5 points left needed to be at match point, S8UL, they make the rotate. Falcons 8 away, but Oblivion have now closing the gap ever so slightly with Hal being on the Mad Maggie. Waltzy back over to the Crypto, while Guild, the Pride and True on the Catalyst. They're looking to get the information here too. You can see them now rotating on this side as Oblivion. They call them out, rotating on top of the bridge to overlook the action closer to that Evil Harvester.
Yeah, so Falcons, have they moved all the way down to Shipyard Arcade there because they think that's where it's going to finish, or because that's a good staging ground to then go north into draft point? I'm going to be fascinated to find out. Definitely wouldn't be second-guessing Hal's ring prediction the way that they have been playing so far in this tournament. It's been fantastic. And Virtus Pro going here as well. Okay, if there is one thing that could indicate it's going Shipyard Arcade, it's the fact that we do have the circles touching at the very outskirts of the map. That is one indicator that it's like a full pull and not a pull back. But I was just really scared to believe that, because again, we've had like almost 0 endings at Shipyard Arcade.
It's been so rare because we usually see it pull towards the City Hall side, right? The northwestern side, but a little bit of a different point here too. Nice shots coming in from Lou, as everyone are looking at the teams that still need to find more of these points. VP sitting with only 2 points alone. We're trying to get our predictions going. I want to hear predictions from you guys back at home watching in the chat. How far do you think we're going to be going? Who do you think is taking it? Tweet at us. Tweet at the Play Apex team. Hashtag ALGS. As Oblivion, they keep themselves in the conversation. Double white, 1 blue for fun here. They take to the skies, but look at the amount of G7s. You can see the line of sight of the firing from the teams that are right below them.
We got a lot of teams heading to the arcade here right now. Everyone wants to get on the machines and have a jam here, and the fact that Oblivion have moved in as well. Falcons, by the way, actually went back to Old Town. This is easily their worst map pick if you're just going via the draft, having to start down there in Old Town. You're kind of tucked in behind Humbert Labs, always at a risk, and you're kind of just at the mercy of the team who plays to the north of you. So they're going to grab a drone scan over there. We look at Shopify Rebellion. They are the furthest from the ring right now. So who are they going to head towards? Vicky, they go towards Hot Dog Mafia, who have yet to really get up and running today. Ninjas in Pajamas, they're currently traveling through Energy Bank, or perhaps Gen G, who also, despite grabbing those couple of kills in our previous game, are still in the bottom 10.
Playing objective too, because there is an Evil Harvester at the very least, exiting out of the choke from Galleria. They're also going to be able to get a scan, see which teams are waiting for them on the other side of Energy Bank, especially since they probably already have that ring console coming out of Heights too. Hot Dog Mafia being another one to try to rotate quickly. We know that they land in Electro Dam. So they've opted to rotate all the way from the east side where there's another ring console, another survey, Supernova on the horizon. And since they're prioritizing specifically Hot Dog Mafia and getting that survey beacon, Supernova will note with that light that they were called out. And Team Falcons are to their south, rotating out of Humbert Labs, where they also have a ring console. And they have the high ground too, as well as the crypto drone, to look at Supernova, who are forced to back away into the zone towards Stadium.
Or they do that, yeah.
Yeah, look at that. Opting to take the zone damage purely, you would imagine, to grab that ring console information. Do Shopify Rebellion or Hot Dog Mafia want to follow in their footsteps? Perhaps they can hear them. Perhaps they have that information from the scan. Looks like Shopify Rebellion actually have a closer one inside the zone. Might be able to hit that first. Meanwhile, Falcons are doing exactly the same at Humbert Labs. A player is waiting as the ring closes to hit that immediately.
Love the patient play here too.
Oh my god.
Knowing that they have to play objective at this point. While Shopify also have that ring console, but Team Falcons, once they get that info, they have the evac tower, and they're going to start rotating up, while Shopify Rebellion look at Hot Dog Mafia. It's a little bit of a pile-up that is inevitable on the east side of the zone. But in a zone like this, pulling so deep towards Shipyard, I mean, where do you go if you don't have the ability to fly, right? You're going to need a rotational legend to really help you out.
But it's still kind of 50-50, right?
It could still pull a little bit more.
Half a Shipyard, half a draft point, and the thing that's getting me is the fact that we're no longer touching the circles, which, again, one of the things that indicates it will keep pulling in that direction, but also there's a lot of water. And, you know, I'm a broken record at this point, but canals are basically all the end spots in E-District. So does that mean it pulls towards the draft point canals, favoring teams like SBI and Crazy Thieves?
With the teams that don't have access to that ring console, they're really banking on that Northern Circle pool. As Oblivion are smack dab in the middle for Shipyard Arcade, let's jump into a team radio with Oblivion.
If it's a flip, we have the visibility to leave, so.
Yep.
The low ground shops are also not that bad. No, it's not bad, but like landing on it is sucked as well.
Yeah, I agree.
Quick little blurb here with some information. Oblivion have taken control of the ship. As Monsoon, he is the captain now. As Blinkster too, still sticking with that Wraith, looking at the teams that are hiding up on the top of the high ground of these buildings, but denying more of that information. They have already set up the Watson fences down here in the middle. My biggest fear though, Gino, is the amount of cryptos in the lobby when it comes to the Watsons who are already stationed up with their fences.
Look at this. Do you see anyone?
Yeah, one of those Watson teams is in big
Or
trouble.
the
Hot Dog Mafia have lost their Watson,
Recon?
in fact, and
I
think
understand,
that
I
only
know.
leaves Crazy
Like you're
Thieves.
scouting.
Again, they are
The
kind
same-
of banking on this being a North
Right.
pool, but it's so hard to tell. I mean, there's a couple of
Checking for
people you look at,
people,
Hal,
like-
MT, Phony, people that you rely on
I understand.
to be able to call
Like-
these zones with great clarity and effectiveness, and they've gone for different options, so it's really hard to pick between them, as we do see the Rebel first strike with Fnatic going down.
Hal
He looks
also
like
gets a
right
little bit
now
of revenge for
on this
Fnatic
scenario
because they follow up
would,
for the 3P and catch Henchman. Now go next, thankfully. Have a portal in play, and they get that reset. I was hearing the arena hold their breath when they saw that fight as Fnatic go out early in this match for Hot Dog Mafia. Meet them back in the lobby at the young gun hands
Like
of
run out
Panic,
and do something.
who has been
like-
popping off this tournament. He's always been such an insane player, a crazy fragger at that, very talented. With a lot of pressure under the legacy name of TSM. Here in this finals lobby, go next now. Hiding behind these rampart walls, safe and sound, but getting information from Kinda in the crypto.
Obviously, a lot of cryptos in this lobby, so teams will be pretty much aware of where everyone else is set up. It gives them a lot of information to be able to plan their next moves. For Team Falcons, that's probably just staying put here. Obviously, they're quite safely ensconced in this room. No altar means there's very few options for people to come at them. No doors to blow off. There's a single zip line with a small aperture, as well as the indestructible doors on either side. Oh my god, it's a shipyard zone.
It is pulling straight up towards the southeast side of Shipyard. This is going to be
Come on,
crazy.
Falcons, you
Team
got
Falcons
this,
don't
bro.
have this info, by the way. They know Oblivion's right on top of them. The nades set in their direction as the bunker doors open. They have the catalyst and they have the spikes, but they look like chameleons because they're looking in front by these bunker doors. They're looking at Oblivion right above their heads, and they're hearing the fighting all around them as they take out the amp damage from the barriers.
So one of the fun things about this, Vicky, is because these zones are so rare, we're just going to see some freewheeling, right? These teams have had extremely little practice on playing a tight end zone in Shipyard. I don't know if it's ever happened in like the ALGS splits, and always remember when they're doing this in scrims, there's less teams alive. They're not playing as high quality, so this could be a completely new experience for many of the teams in this lobby right now.
I'm not gonna lie, looking at the zone gave me whiplash. I mean, it gave the other teams too, like forced to rotate so quickly because look at the Mythic bin, untouched on the north side of Draft Point after all these teams that have congregated over to that north side, saw that circle pool, wasted no time, said we gotta go over there because now there's a bridge separating us and that next potential zone. I honestly have only seen this zone like once within my own personal games. It's crazy to see Shopify, though, specifically have set up on the further north side where they really don't have to worry about late rotating teams from the right choke that leads you into Shipyard.
Same thing as
I mean, if Vicky hasn't seen it, I'm barely anyone seen it. I mean, she's on 12 hours a day. Wow, that's really saying something.
Dang, you gotta expose me.
Ninja
It's true, though.
pajamas.
Live, breathe, and we get to watch even more Apex while the teams that are going to pile up on that north side, it's going to be a bloodbath.
Yeah, the other thing is this is such a hard road into Shipyard. Maybe this is why we don't get a lot of those zones. Maybe this is why the devs sort of structured it this way, but coming across that bridge is a death trap, basically, especially with no altar. You can't, just get that like mini invisibility as you're ducking between different elevations. And now S8, they've had to come in from City Hall, and this is one of the few times we haven't seen them in a really good endgame position.
And this is a fight that could get 3P'd by TSM, but I don't think TSM is going to move from their spot because they know that there's 3 other teams next to him. But it's NIP versus Unlimit right behind TSM trying to take that fight.
Unlimit, of course, a team who is very used to being on the outskirts, and this is their bread and butter. If we look at teams who want to fight, Vicky, Unlimit have taken the most fights out of any team in the entire tournament. They are drilled, they are ready, but are they good enough to beat Ninjas in Pajamas?
Or are their skills limited with NIP playing this very patiently? On the other side of that wall, you can see the pings, forced to call in an evac. I'm not gonna lie, Yulari Man having this alternator is terrifying. The gold barrel, he's got the purple mag as well as the double tap. Oh, but they're baiting. They're baiting, making it seem like they're gonna take the evac tower to C. if NIP want to push onto them, maybe take the evac tower themselves, they're getting involved in the fight. As it finally starts, and it works! It works for them! The Wrecking Ball sent out as they get the first knock onto Vayne. Back in the way, they don't want to try to overextend. A huge nade confirms that pickoff. With 18 squads left, I love the utilization from Unlimit.
20 seconds left. Not willing to swing. They had done so much damage to Ninjas in Pajamas there, but they wanted to take that sort of swing angle, but they sat there in the zone, and then...
I mean, it's because, look around 4. It's closing in the next 8 seconds as SBI get the respawn. They can't risk this because this is going to make your eyes water.
They are so far from the zone as well. Literally pulling to the northeastern side of Shipyard. Crazy Thieves have actually managed to make themselves
doing is they have
fantastic chances to win this game, perhaps if they can get Burholz back up, because the zone is very much pulling to them, but it looks like Shopify Rebellion on the other side is causing them some issues.
Hopefully, maybe they could work around to get a beacon here, as Legacy also try to fight right in front of them, but they try to play their life and they get eliminated. It was only Yanya left as Genvetter picks that up as 8UL 5 points away from match point. But so many nades hurdled at their feet. Oh my goodness, everyone sent those nades as S8UL cannot qualify for match point.
Our number 1 team goes down. A scarce 5 points needed for them. They try to play it safe, but the rotation is just too hard. Late into Shipyard Arcade is a death sentence.
You know what's waiting for them since we have the back-to-back E-District and the Grim Reaper of match points coming up as the duo of Onset and Yasin. We're gonna have to see, because we always like some more Apex, as Burholz is back in the game. No team looking to contest them, because guess what? We have a pileup between Go Next, E36, and VP, but Falcons, they've lost out on Wolsey. They may be the next team to go out unless Wolsey can get revived.
I mean, this is a kick-ass wall from Guild, completely blocking Unlimit to try and get in. They just get the res, but no time to get his health back up. Now it's all up to Hal.
Hal, the last one alive. It's a lot to deal with, but he's playing up the blue knockdown, and with a jump and the push, Team Falcons get eliminated. That is our 2 top teams.
Come on, guys, come on.
We are going the distance as Oblivion are still alive.
Al is statistically, undoubtedly the most dangerous player in this server, but not even he can turn that fight around. Unlimit with too much aggression will get in there, and that means we've got at least 2 more games.
It's not Monsoon without a sniper in his hand, by the way. Charged up Sentinel. Mozam's in the other. Oh, panic. Almost gave him a haircut, but it's fine. The Mozams are all he needs to get that knock. As Oblivion want to keep this pressure up, zone closing in, it's round 5, and they're not in that next zone. They're looking to get more KP, because they know they are right behind Falcons with 35 points. Alliance also looking to reset as 5 Fears get eliminated.
It's a little harder for Oblivion. They've got to do more work, but they do find themselves on the high ground above Alliance and SBI.
Effect comes in from the skies of the dropship, and they look at Egoist, SBI, having Egoist back away for now. Alliance combined together. Look at UNL, Unlimit now dropping in from the top. SBI get eliminated, and it's all these teams looking to desperately get this KP. Oblivion are hailing from above all this extra damage without overextending.
Oh my god, they just got quite a few kills there. 7 kills, Oblivion. This is just desperately needed KP if they want to hit match point right here, right now. Up to 42. They have the high ground. This is exactly the kind of spot that Monsoon thrives in, that he succeeds in. Every time we see him up high, you know, maybe some kind of sniper in his hand, that's the kind of games it feels like Oblivion always wins.
Positional advantage, you got a Sentinel in one hand, the Mozam's in the other. Phony finding MT and finishing him off. VP in a lot of trouble as Oblivion. We highlight this before, and he's literally doesn't have an extended mech, he doesn't have the sniper stock here, but that's fine. He still has a charge-up Sentinel and 6 shield cells. That's all he needs to find the cracks and the nuts if he can try to steal some KP from the fight that they see in front of them.
VP out with just a mere 2 placement points.
Galari, man, is back in the game. The crowd rallies after seeing the res, and Oblivion are just waiting patiently.
Blinks up on the Wraith. He loves this pick. A couple of people have joined him on it, of course, because Alta is now out.
Oh, no.
What can he do with it? Is he going to go for one of the risky kidnaps, even in this position, even when they're on the cusp of match point? Or does he save it for a more, you know, prudent kind of move?
And they may not have a choice because he doesn't have a lot of ammo to work with. And with Fun getting deleted, it is Jen Burden getting more KP. He gets that first knock. Monsoon playing this patiently, though. I like the way he's playing around the other side of the gen as extra makeshift cover. But Shopify Rebellion, they're hungry. They hear what's going on, and they travel uphill. They capitalize. As they don't hear them, they were so focused on CRT. Verhol's holding onto the high ground.
CRT did get that respawn, by the way, with all three members here. We said if they're up and they're three, they've got a chance to take this one.
Wow.
SR will go down, but now Oblivion are looking like it could be over for them.
Unlimit and CRT shaking hands and allowing Oblivion to stay alive. But with Blixer looking at the rampart, them trying to get the res, he gets sent down. Fun, he didn't have a shield, and they survive. The script writers are hard at work.
Oh my god.
KP away, 49 points. He just needs one more.
Can he get a kill? Can they survive? No! Oh no! God, 49. You see the hands go up. Well, still a couple of teams to play. Okay, Crazy Thieves, they jump down from the high ground.
Let's go.
And Jen Burton puts his hands up in the air.
Oblivion's at 49. Hey, that's fine. All they just need
And
to
frankly, he deserves it after that match. It was a tough one for Crazy Thieves. We talked about how hard it is to rotate in from the north side, from draft point in this rare shipyard zone. Crazy Thieves managed to do it. They take one down on the way. Somehow they get them back into it and finish with 11 kills. That's 23 points for them in the game and puts them up to 39 overall. 4 matches done and dusted, Vicky. Still 0 teams on match point.
But they get closer. Oblivion a point away.
Falcons aren't in.
When I was stuck in Tokyo with Fun, he told me, you know what? This may be it. Looking to maybe look at the retirement home, take a step back.
What is happening?
Yet here we are, a point away from match point. It's so crazy.
Why does my
I mean, even
screen
crazier
look
the
like
way that
this?
Crazy Thieves were able to reset too, coming out of Humber Labs and holding that choke on the northeast side.
Sounds like one.
Ad break. I'll be back.
Hair thinning is not inevitable. Nutrafol Men takes a whole-body approach targeting root causes of hair thinning from within. We're giving men the support they need so they can focus on the things that matter most. Get growing with Nutrafol.
When we had to spend the night in Tokyo together, delayed on the way to Sapporo by all of the snow that you can see coming down around us. Now, at 49 points.
Must be feeling yourself. I mean, with Crazy Thieves, the way that they were able to play that, they must be pretty happy to see that they weren't the team that everybody wanted to jump on top of. I mean, imagine being Monsoon in this situation where they were at risk at potentially not even qualifying for this finals after he lost out in a very intense 1v1 that you and I were able to cover. But it's the reset, right? And everyone's like, oh man, I mean, the alt tab, it happens to everybody, but it was an expensive issue, but he still was able to make it.
You know what I love about Monsoon, though?
The faces.
Yeah, look, he's intense inside the server, but hey, as soon as he takes the headset off, just such a lovable human. You can hear the crowd loves him. We love him. The scoreboard kind of loves him right now.
And shout out to his fiance for all the support. Riley in the crowd, always coming side by side with Monsoon. The dynamic duo to show her support to Monsoon as they're able to find themselves in that first place.
You know, I think they got, I think he actually made the proposal here in Japan at last year's championship. Imagine if this time he could give her a trophy instead of a ring.
Ooh, it's a nice big, I'm not gonna say diamond, but achievement here that transcends these different accolades as they're 1 point away. I mean, when they were here last year, Riley was showing everybody her ring, so happy. And Monsoon basking in the food, obviously. He's an amazing chef. He gets to take pictures and have his own personal streams in the Monsoon cooking show. And SAUL and Falcons falling short once again with mere points away. This is what I love about Apex Legends, especially with match point finals. As our teams take a quick break, you have to imagine what goes through their head, right? GG, go next. We got to do a reset because we are going back onto E District. And you also have to consider with other teams, knowing that Oblivion are 1 point away, are we going to have other squads, knowing their POI draft, trying to grief them on their rotate?
Well, one thing I will say is it's pretty unlikely we get a replay of that game. As we said, Shipyard, we rarely see it unless something's changed. I imagine we'll be going somewhere else. But as you say, Vicky, it's been donut and a donut for Falcons in the last 2 games. But I think they've done well enough in the rest of the tournament that they've still got
So you thought, well, indeed, you thought it was going to be Genome and Vicky. Unfortunately, it's going to be Gaskin and myself on set who are back on the mics to take you through these next few games down. We got a lot to talk about, and certainly got the energy going as well because I cracked myself a fresh Red Bull down. It was delicious.
Oh, lovely. Well, no team has made match point yet. I thought when we were coming back, I didn't know, actually, I'm going to be honest, I didn't think we would come back with how Falcons were playing when we left it at 1 and 2, but still, no one has made match point, albeit Oblivion very, very close. Just 1 single point away from being that first team to cross the threshold, but we're still going to have to get there going into matches 5 and 6 here.
Yeah, I mean, we will do indeed. We've still got a lot of work to do, and like I mentioned, if you fancy cracking a fresh Red Bull to get a little bit of energy in you can head over to the Red Bull Gaming Sphere, which is in the fan zone. Plenty of Red Bull available for you to enjoy, and Dan Gaskin has just gathered himself what I can only imagine is a half-empty Red Bull, because you've been chugging through them today, brother.
That I have, keeping me going, that's for sure. And we might need it at this pace. Who knows how many matches we are going to be going. If everyone keeps going back and forth, trading out games, then we could be going a little bit further than usual, or maybe further than expected for some of these teams. You can see plenty of fans in the audience for all different teams. And yeah, a wild RKN has appeared.
So, back to business then. Back to the business of what we got in front of us, back to match point finals. Like you mentioned quite rightly, no one yet has crossed that 50-point threshold. That is when match point gets activated. After that, that team who's on 50 or more points has to win a game to be crowned champions. Now, we do have a lot of teams in the lobby extremely close. And one thing that's a standout to me, Dan, and I'm sure for everybody who's watching right now, is how close the leaderboards actually are. And also, So a quick thing, by the way, double E-District. We're back-to-back on E-District as we snake back.
Yes, it is a snake draft back, so this is going to be the only time for now that we see back-to-back matches until we get to Storm Point again at 8 and 9, when it would be back-to-back thereon and their fourth. So will we be able to see the same success from the likes of Oblivion going here into E-District? They only need one more point to be that first team to cross the match point threshold.
But you can see at the top of the lead, at the top of your screen, excuse me, momentarily, the scores for the teams, and now you can't, so we'll read him out for you anyway. Oblivion 1 point away. Heartbreak. He saw fun as well. I think he thought that he got it, but 49 points is where they find themselves. 1 point required to activate match point. SAUL just behind them, 45 points. 5 points needed for them to activate match point. Then you go on to Falcons, 42. And after that, Crazy Thieves with that big win in the previous game. They're on 39 now, Dan. It's very, very doable for them to hit match point right here in this next match.
Since those first two incredible matches from Team Falcons, they've yet to find a point in matches 3 and 4. So either we're their good luck charm or Vicky Gino maybe are their curse at this rate. But they will certainly need to pick up the pace and start to find points, because otherwise teams are going to begin to surpass them. Of course, Crazy Thieves started to get a little bit closer after their victory on E-District as well. Now, in terms of the legend compositions, we know that Rampart was banned going into this one after we've already lost the likes of Alter, Caustic, and Newcastle, which means that Watson is now going to be the biggest and most prevalent legend selected here in this lobby. 13 Watsons, but that's how the compositions are going to look. 25% of the lobby with Crypto, Watson, Wraith, and then you see everything after that.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that kind of lends itself to, I would say, a more consistent game here is, even though a lot of our strong defensive legends outside of Watson have already been banned, the fact that we are back on E-District, which we previously mentioned, is probably one of the most building and cover dense maps that we have in our competitive map set. It means that it doesn't affect you too much when it comes to being able to play a little bit quickly to zone. And as we look across some of the comp shifts as well, and some of the legends that have been banned, it's always interesting to see who's switching things up. You see Fnatic changing from Rampart to Watson, a lot of Ramparts to Watson, kind of doing the same job.
Supernova from Valkyrie to Pathfinder, from Rampart to Maggie. I think there's going to be a change of pace from the cheeky, hard-decky game plan, and I'm definitely excited to see what's going to happen on that side. In terms of legend selection, remember, when we get into match point finals, there is the possibility we might get a reset in certain particular groups. Controller legends typically are the first and usually only legends that do get reset if we get there. So, for example, Watson's going to get banned now. If we were to see Catalyst banned next, then that might open things up once again more for Caustic.
I just learned that Phony can control cameras with his mind. That's insane. That's a skill to have. Impressive stuff coming in from the IGL. Interesting to kind of mention as well, I think that some of the IGL responsibilities have actually been shared about a little bit on Crazy Thieves, which has been one of the reasons maybe for a bit of an upturn in form. I know that Verhulst has been a little bit more vocal in some of the calls that have been made by the team and the squad, and seems to be working. So everybody contributing to the success. We're also still in the pause here if you're wondering what we're doing and waiting for the game to get underway, and it might be a reset of the lobby here. So no harm, no foul. Nobody even really got to 2 or 3 steps through their loop path before we had to unfortunately jump into that pause, and hopefully we can get back underway as soon as possible. And you mentioned the composition change, and this is the team in front of a Supernova who made that quick change. But Crazy Thieves we were talking about, and Dan, impressive to see their run and what seems like just peaking at the right time here with that win in the previous game.
Yeah, and I think that's always been what it's about here in the ALGS. It's about not peaking too early and also, of course, not peaking too late. If you can find that sweet spot, you might be that team that lifts the trophy. And of course, Crazy Thieves are not just a team that is, you know, going to be avoiding trying to lift another trophy. They are a team that was designed and built to lift another trophy. All 3 members of that squad have been there, done that. As we look back at the previous game on E-District, Crazy Thieves were able to get that victory on set, and this is how they did it.
Yeah, I mean, they got the respawn just previous to this as well to get, I believe it was Verhulst back into the game. And from there, just took a really simple third-party opportunity that presented themselves, and why Oblivion were just focused on getting that 1 extra point that they needed to qualify. This is about as simple as a win as you can get in the Apex Legends Global Series. Extreme difference in verticality between the 2 teams, and it's quite simply a job of cleaning up the damage that's done by others.
And there's a lot of Crazy Thieves fans in the house here as well. They erupted after this victory, and it means that Crazy... Yeah, and the first team to pass it should be Oblivion, but we've been here before, where we've seen a roster get very close, 1 point away, and then not quite able to get over that finish line.
Another team who's extremely close to hitting match point is SAUL as well. Some fantastic performances. Almost saw them what felt like back-to-back wins to put themselves in that position. And this is a team as well. It's Apex South who just seem to have this consistent crop of talent that comes through, hits these match point finals, and whether it's ALGS, whether it's teams with Zero and Jim Burton, there's always an Apex South powerhouse that comes through and performs in these match point situations. Sharky's been there before.
Left eye
we
is
know his caliber.
killing
That man's a land
me.
champion, but I mean, it doesn't get too much better outside of that match number.
Yeah, will they look back at
Are they run by the same org 100 Thieves? Yes, it's just a name change.
Not able to clutch up. If they had, they would have been on match point, which is, I think, what is kind of insane. You've got to look at this team and say, you know, when you're in a 1v1 like that, the pressure is on the line. Are you going to be able to step up to the plate in that moment?
Who's
And
the
fact
guy
it's
that
against
scored,
Monsoon after what had already happened previously in the tournament.
dropped
as
a
well.
20 bomb in the
When
LGS
he
tournament.
alt-sabbed, he kind of made up for that one in the individual.
Dropped a 20 bomb.
Well, still some work to do for them, of course, to hit match point, but very, very close to doing so. And that man on your screen, Sharky, previously mentioned that man has lifted trophies. He knows what it takes to win in those big moments. And speaking of big moments, now that we're getting to the point, Dan, where we're 50 points is kind of on the threshold for so many of these teams. We're expecting maybe one of those teams to hit match point. It's time to talk about what happens when you hit match point. I personally feel, when I've had this discussion with some of the talent team, and I think there's a lot of people out there who believe that when you hit match point, you usually get one opportunity to win a tournament. Whether that's a zone that goes your way, whether that's a rotate that opens for you, whether it's an end game that you participate in.
You know they're selling the CRT jerseys? Yeah, they are, but I'm pretty sure that like majority of the stuff has been sold out.
You will feel this is our do or die win tournament moment.
Well, a team who has been in that position before, albeit not
Who
in
is
an
the
ALGS
EU
tournament,
player who dropped
Yeah, Alliance
a
is
20
actually
bomb
not
in
playing
ALGS scrims?
too good right now. So hopefully we see a good game coming out from them.
Are they going to be able to find a little bit more pace here going into this next game?
Yeah, hopefully we see a good game come from Fnatic, Alliance, and Hot Dog. Enjoy. Is there a Wi-Fi for this booth?
Zero about how, but we have to give Hackers his flowers. The only thing he's really missing is that elusive ALGS trophy.
Yeah, that's the big one, right? And it's so difficult to win an ALGS event. We know that it's a battle royale. There is an element of luck on zones that have to go your way. And don't get me wrong, there's also an enormous amount of ability and skill that has to go in it. But this is what I'm talking about with the one opportunity. Alliance sometimes are a little bit late to the party in match point. And I mentioned this before. Even at EWC, that win that they had a couple of years ago now, you've got to remember, it went deep in that series. Very, very deep. And if I'm not mistaken, the longest match point that we've had at a LAN event. So for Alliance, it can't be that same story. I think they need to be there a little bit earlier than they have been historically. And if they can do that, then it's an opportunity for them to have that one chance to strike before other teams get theirs. But at the moment, it feels like a very similar story.
And one of those key differences for that LAN is the match point cutoff was 60 rather than 50 as it was being tested at that tournament. And perhaps that did help the likes of Alliance catch up with the rest of the lobby because they hadn't quite crossed it. Whereas now, they find themselves on 14 points and the leaders on 49.
Alliance downfall,
even if we saw Alliance
like 70% controller.
with a lot of kills, they are
I'm pretty sure that's like every team.
You're
Like,
very unlikely to see a 36-point.
I'm pretty sure that's like every fucking team. It's like 70% controller. We got Falcons 100% controller. We got SR 100% controller.
Falcons. They're
How many steps to give me one? Which one? Wait, what? The jersey? Like I said, I think they might be sold out, but I can ask Bronzy. I could see if they have it in stock. But why don't you what's it called? DM me Vegas on Discord. I can see if I can do something for you.
damn. It's kind of different. Besides the Watson. Okay, now it's less different.
You need all the MNK retired team of you and Sweet, Nathan or Rebs. Yeah. Hold up, I'm trying to see. Working here. Alright, but we're going to the next game. Game 5. We'll let the casters kind of cast the first part of it anyways.
Even then, another team is probably already having the chance to... Or surprises. For you and me personally, this is the first time we've covered E-District this tournament, and I'm very excited for that. I told you, this is my favorite map to watch, cast, play. It just has something a little bit special. Just the way it looks, it feels, and it runs. Now, you can see on the right-hand side just how many points these teams need to cross match point. Remember, that means they have to win one after that. So for Oblivion, it's as simple as getting top 15, 1 point secured. Get 1 KP, 1 point secured, and then you just have to start thinking about that next match. But you could also deny points from the rest of the lobby.
Predictions? Yeah, can we get a mod to run some predictions
after an electric start,
of who's going to win?
Too perfect. I mean, it was too perfect for Team Falcons. They find themselves still needing 8 points to hit match point. On the right-hand side of your screen, you can see how many points are required. Oblivion, if they don't hit it, by the way, I mean, you thought Mon was a bit pissed when he didn't win the 1v1 the other day. I think they all might be doing something similar if they can't get that one single solitary point.
Just looking at Oblivion as well, they are very close to Supernova and Alliance. They are two very difficult teams to take a fight against. And also, they find themselves a little bit split right now. I'm not sure whether they tried to split up.
Ooh, we got another draft point zone. I think Fnatic's going to get a good game here, chat. They look like they're in the God spot. That's like typically where I feel like it goes.
It might pull towards that recon thing, I feel like.
Yeah, draft point going to be where our game is going to be ending. Oblivion, by the way, a very interesting game for them. You think about it, if they pick off one player, they hit match point, job is to stop everyone else hit match point. Try and find a Falcons composition, try and find an S8UL composition, and see if you could recognize, not just through composition, but maybe just through a few characteristics on how they're playing the game, who those teams are going to be. Now, reminder, if you're watching ALGS for the first time, if you're watching this particular competitive format, teams will not know who they killed until they are fully dead and they pop up in the kill feed. So you're kind of playing a guessing game a lot of the time about
the DM. Sounds good. I'll get back to you when I can.
With legend bands in selection as well, because it's going to be different compositions every single game.
Base caster.
I mean, that's just because
from those legends in question. Now, Fnatic, one of these teams, they were already
is that like a caster setting, or is that just like because everyone wants streamer mode?
Southwest team. Apart from maybe Virtus Pro, who could move in a little bit later, Fnatic are going to have watch over a lot of this lobby joining them here.
It's going to be a little bit of a slow burn in this game. Like we mentioned, E-District just in general, lots of places to play. Phony in the kill feed has taken down Oblivion, one of them, and been finished. So that 1 point is a little bit further away for Oblivion here, and it's Crazy Thieves, the winners of our previous games.
Bro, Oblivion, you guys can't be fucking first. You guys can't be.
Dogs, essentially fighting here. What's going on? You can see is playing down underneath. We got Falcons up top. We have TSM in a building below. Everything will grow. We have Fnatic in potential God spot. CRT climbing up on a team. Potential fight going on here. My call is to take the port back. A little bit too aggressive here. Verhol's holding the building. It's all good. I like this play. Being able to see if you can do anything, but you can't. Blinkster. They just need 1 point here to get on match point. They lose their third. NIP now walking up, hitting the phase, trying to see if they can get into a building. They cannot, and they're going to find one down below. Not a bad building to play, and NIP is going to be able to get in here. But Falcons are able to hold all of the building sections on the right. We love to see them hold the ground. Supernova getting chased right now, and Kazakh, the last one up on the Pathfinder, trying to get out here, but he's getting flown up on, trying to do his best here, and he is most likely gonna fall. Gonna climb up. Oh my god, he barely just made it, but didn't get the mantle boost. but he's getting chased by a Valk, which is literally just a guy who's just on fucking turbo boosters. Supernova is taken out in Oblivion. A team that cannot get out, gets out, and they don't get on match point. Alliance somehow comes onto them and then kills them. No, that is so bad for Oblivion. They are actually so emo. That is such a bad way. That's a double feels bad, I'm telling you. Being 1 point off a match point, and then on top of that getting a 0-pointer, that actually ruins your vibes. And now you know people, they should have been on match point. You know what I mean? Like, fuck. That hurts. That hurts actually deep. I can resonate with that. I can resonate with that quite a bit. But unfortunately, that is their problem and not mine. I will continue watching the other 19 teams in this fucking lobby. We're gonna look here and see what's going on. We got Soul playing the top bridge, a good spot for a drop point zone. They're not playing Rampart here, but that's still a good spot to hold. Oh, word. Word. A word. Not much going on. We can watch Legacy as they trying to choke here. Why don't we watch a team that's most likely going to hit a third ring? Most likely Zainu. No one on the side. Dexter and fucking Genji on the side of the map. Literally, what are they looking for out there? I'm so confused. We're going to see where the zone goes. Boom. It re-centralizes and it's going to go either to SBI or Alliance on these buildings. It could end on Falcons as well. So they are all in a good position here. Where is Soul? Soul's on the bridge. And like I said, it's a good spot. But we have Hot Dogs trying to do their best to stay on the middle side of the bridge. Not too bad. Not too bad of a spot here. They're going to try to stabilize. 18 teams up. We're missing one. We have a duo somewhere on the map. Not too sure where, but it looks like it's going to be maybe... Oh, fighting. SR fighting Falcons. What the fuck just happened? Why are we inting? Poiful trying to stay alive, and he goes up top, and he gets shot here. And SR having another bad game, getting eliminated on the 11th place overall. 18th in the game, and they are going to get a 0-point game. How did the fuck did they even get there? Did they evac? I think they evac'd out off scan. A very aggressive call coming from the IGL of SR, but we're going to see what happens right now from this team. They see the scans, they're going to fly, and Alliance has left the buildings. Now they are able to play in the back here. Crypto EMP coming out, and Alliance is calling to be aggressive. Maggie Ball coming in, Catwall coming in. Going to slide in, frag grenades on the top floor. We're going to hit the spam, and Alhakis gets one. Frag grenade comes out, Unlucky closing the doors on the bottom floor. Q's coming out. They have to play safe. Potential third party as NIP is looking. We get knocked. 5 fears. Knocks one. Effect getting a little too aggressive, but Alliance is going to be able to get a reset as they're trying to nade and stop the push. Gonna block the doors. We have Unlucky closing the bottom 4, top 4. Gibby Bubble out on the outside. Wasn't able to be a good bubble as it blocked the shots from the window. Frag grenade coming in the bottom 4. They're gonna get spammed right now. Trying to do their best as they're getting scanned by the Sparrow Cube. A lot of hell is breaking loose. Cat Q's on the ground and trying to do their best to stay alive. Closing the doors, and they are gonna be able to get a full reset onto the full HP. Just trying to manage what's going on here, getting the drone out to see if they can scout, if they can leave the building. We have NIP just wholeheartedly waiting to third party. Frag grenade comes bottom 4 from the top. Gets cracked. 5 fears now peeking the stairs. Another nades come out. Gibby Bubble coming up from a different team, trying to stay in the bubble, trying to stay alive. And Alliance is going outside, able to knock one onto 5 fears. Now the fight's coming out. 2 dead and 5 fears is eliminated from the game. A good play by Alliance to stay alive, and they will take this. Effect. Where the fuck did we just go? Why are we over here? What the fuck are we doing? Why did we run over here? What the fuck? Is this guy inting? That could be literally a reportable offense. Doesn't matter, gets the reds up, but NIP, if they have something to say about it, Vayne just going for the goop right now. He don't give a fuck about Alliance rezzing, getting the 2 kills. He's gonna go get his goddamn goop, and Alliance is gonna get a reset. All good, and we have 15 teams left in the lobby here. The zone is now closing, and we're gonna see if a team's gonna get another beacon scan. No beacon is gonna be left to be had. Maybe this team, no Gibby. All right, we are not getting any more information, and we are playing with what we got. We got Panic, gonna try to get the mythic pin, but Gilderson, he is literally cringe. He holds the mythic pin from across and not let anybody touch it because he wants to make sure that he gets it himself. Gonna try to do his best to get some damage here. All purples. Here's a slide. Gets a little kind of nervous. 66 on that guy. I don't even know how he shot him that fast. Could be using cheats or wall hacks. We don't know. But we're gonna look to another guy. We're gonna see Gen G on the edge here with UNL. Maybe a potential fight out here as they are pinging them with a crypto drone. Asia and Dexter trying to walk up here off Zicky's calls. Drone gets broken, and it looks like UNL is gonna be able to get a nice rotate into street market here. Crazy Thieves on the height as it could pull. Tends to pull to the right side of draft point a lot. They could have a good slide down coming from the high ground here, but they aren't playing any defensive characters other than Watson. So no catwall to be able to make a crevice into a pocket. So whenever they get into a building, it's gonna have to be a big one. They are pinging us building where the Falcons is holding the compound. Falcons currently sitting at 4 KP. That's going to put them at 47 points. They need 3 more to get to match point. This is really good for Falcons as they are likely here to get to match point from this game. Same thing with Seoul, but they do need a little bit more. They need 4. Not too many opportunities to get KP, but not too many opportunities to die on this position of the zone. We have Gen G just going to hold out this side, and we have Ewan now actually able to get in underneath. I don't like this spot personally, not much to play, but as everyone is playing a little bit more the passive side, they probably won't get peeked at too much, and they are playing aggressive comp to get the scans through the walls and also with the Maggie drills. Gonna wait for the zone to close. We're gonna see where the next zone is closing. Sear ult comes out, getting angled out, and Lyman getting low. We had a drop coming out from Go Next, and good anglage with the fence right now. Rez trying to come out on Lyman to see if we can get him back up, and the zone has now popped. It is leaning to the left side, and the teams are now having to move on the right side. Soul in a good spot once again. We're going to take a look at Crazy Thieves as they're going to aggress onto Hot Dog. Hot Dog's now dropping from the height and giving it. Portal comes out, and they have now taken the space. Crazy Thieves owns one side of the building. Falcons now coming up. EMP being wasted as they take the portal back. It's a good call coming from the IGL. Phony being able to tell the team that we do not need to force this and we can wait. Now Falcons having to waste double ulta cells to get Walty's ult back here is gonna be difficult. They waste their EMP not having those ulta cells for potential Gilderson ult on the Catalyst wall. This could be the make or break with Hal does knock one on Legacy. Yanya does now fall, and they are going to be trying to push up here. Walty, 2 seconds off EMP, and we have Nzul jumping in the open like it's goddamn motherfucking Fortnite. What the fuck was that? Coming from Nzul. We have now Falcons taking the bottom position here, not playing Watson though, so can get naded out if things get bad. Nobody on their side, but we're going to get Yanya back up here, and Nzul will most likely be rezzed by the drone. We're going to see what's going on, and Gilderson, he gets kidnapped! Gilderson gets kidnapped! Oh my god! That is not looking good for Falcons here, as they are now left as a duo, and Legacy does realize that, and holy fuck, what the fuck is going on? Falcons needing 2 more points, needs to stay alive to get to match point, while Hal does get the banner somehow. What is going on? I don't know what happened to Guild. How did the fuck they get the banner? But we're gonna see what's gonna go Trying to look for a Moby res, but there is none on the map. Balti just trying to do their best to stay alive. Legacy trying to see what's open and scouting around. We have shots coming in from Crazy Thieves on the right. We're going to pay attention to them. They are double knocked. Verholz gets eliminated, and they are not going to get into a match point this game. But you know who is going to get a match point? I don't know. Seoul is not going to get on match point because they need 2 more points as well. We have the zone, new zone, Grow Gaming. They haven't got a good game since the first one, but now they are in potential god spot of this tournament. We are going to see what's happening. Hao trying to do some damage. He does get 1. If he gets the thirst, he can get the KP point here. Trying to take the guys inside, and that is good for Hao. He has put them at 49 points, and they need 1 more point to get to match point here. Trying to look for a Moby, and Hao is unfortunately not able to find it. Just got to stay alive to top 10, and they will be able to get a match point and going to this next game. Looking right now, trying to walk around, getting shot on the side here. Getting kind of low, just going to sit in between. And a team is kind of angling them out. Getting kind of nervous. There's a lot of teams on the left side here. We got 4 teams on the left side that's going to have to converge on each other out as the zone is closing. We're going to look at a different team right now that's most likely going to have to fight. It's UNL. UNL and Go Next, they do have portals. They do have a spot in the zone, so they're going to chill. Same thing with Gen G. UNL now playing the bottom 4 also actually doesn't have to move. The only team that really has to move, holy fuck, Seoul coming out and landing on the front side. A good call from the IGL, and now being able to stabilize up here. It's a good pocket. We're going to look around. Alliance is fighting right now. We're trying to get a POV of that. Alliance going and getting knocked. 2 knocked. Unlucky's the last one up. Waltzy gets the KP, and now putting them at match point. Really good for Falcons now. All they have to do is just get more points for their overall leaderboard. Unlucky just trying to stay alive, and we have Falcons sitting down below. We have 1 up by himself up here. Doesn't even realize that he is by himself. We need comms coming from Waltz. He's on the drone to see that there's only 1 up there. He's trying to scout around, but he's not be able to see. Unlucky gonna go up. He realizes no one's up here. Now gonna try to see even get the res, but you gotta be careful, Walty or any of the drones trying to steal the res, that they can insta pop the res and steal it from him. Drone is being detected. I think Walty has figured out that there is only 1 up there. The drill's gonna be coming out here very soon. And this is not looking good. We're gonna see what happens for Alliance. Walty waiting for the Moby. No, Moby spawns, and this is not going to be the res of Gilderson. Seems like Alliance does not have a Moby in those boxes. EMP coming out, and that is Light trying to be aggressive. Same thing with Imperial Hao trying to swing up on him. Throwing the Maggie ball, now popping him off, and Walty now sliding onto him. He's a solo left to die, and where did he go? He is now sitting on the top. Walty gets the kill. Now taking the spot here, and they are looking good. Alliance is eliminated, and now we have 2 on Falcons here. We have NIP down below trying to stay alive as they're going to look at the team above. We're going to look at Karev here holding the spot as Falcons is going to be playing the bridge. Go Next playing underneath right now, and we have the Sparrow ult being dropped onto Falcons members. They're going to try to shoot it out, and there's going to be KP going on. A lot of fights over here going on. We have Drop getting low, but he does not fall. UNL dead. We have top 5 situation here. 14 players left. We have E36 trying to do their best to stay alive, and they are taken out while NRP is going to play down below. Falcons playing on the bridge, and they may get angled out by TSM, but they are actually staying alive somehow as TSM is not worrying about them. They literally have no cover down there, and they are going to get now arc started off. Maybe shot right here, cracked, and there goes Hao. Hao is on the ground, and now Waltzy's left to be the 1 up. Falcons now getting eliminated. We have Duplex now getting knocked here, getting Maggie drilled.
I could care less who wins.
a knock, and we are gonna see an NIP win. Holy shit.
Okay, well, it's going on to 8.
Holy shit. NIP comes huge that game. And coming out with, I think, 7 KP. Knocked is not getting knocked. Oh my god. And we are
and Apex Legends can't
looking at a
tag 5
dangerous scene right now, chat. Something you just hate to see if you're a fan of anyone of the teams that are not on match point. We got Oblivion with 49 points and Seoul Esports with 49 points. Team Falcons will be the only team on match point. NIP 45 points. Crazy Thieves 43. Grow with 42. The game and the tournament can end right now, chat. We are going into game 6.
Why do I have VR chat downloaded? Fuck. Oh my god, ow, that I'm seeing how many characters have been tagged.
VP in them now. But unfortunately, Zach Mazer is not on that roster anymore, so the inting will be put down to a minimum. But we have Empty on that team as the new IGL. Maybe the new Abortus Pro. We will see. It's Cheez-It. They were this 6 months. 6 months.
From taco night in Tulum to sushi in Tokyo, every bite is rewarding and post-worthy with Amex Gold's 4 times membership rewards points at restaurants worldwide. Wherever you dine, points are piling up. So bring your friends along for your next course, because it's not all about the posts. It's about the company and the memories. How can Gold from Amex sweeten your next food moment? Learn more at americanexpress.com/explore-gold.
Oh my God.
Terms and points cap apply.
Lately? No. Okay. After playing Arc Raiders, I kind of wanted to.
I just did that on stream.
Alright.
And it sounds easier than it actually is to get to that top 15 and secure that 1 point as well. It's very
Snipe with one of the beautiful jackets that the MVP's team can actually win as well. So we've got some beautiful prizes here for that most valuable player. And in the running at the moment, you know, we're looking like Imperial Howl. Yulari Man is up there as well. Jen Burton sneaking on up, so it could be anyone. I want you guys at home in the chat there, maybe write your favorite MVP player, but I'll head it back over to Gasket and Onsen.
My favorite MVP player? It's gotta be Imperial Howl.
hate that we're in charge of making big decisions.
I didn't agree to this.
I do this job to avoid making big
let me go
decisions in my
discuss
life.
with some of these players just a second.
Yeah, let's actually. I'm going to go around with a little whip around, see if anyone's got any cash.
I am glad though that Hugo is getting the majority because yeah, the stats for me as a stat man, you know. Hugo's addition to this broadcast team has been unbelievable.
Favorite
the journey of just
MVP?
creating website,
Wait, Hal.
is Apex down or not? And now
Guys, the
he's
GOAT.
running everything just on stats. Love you. Now, anyway, moving on to match 6. We have our first match point team. Can they do it in 6? We move over to World's Edge. Do you know where they're dropping, by the way?
Sky West. Sky West is number 1
Thank you.
There was a time where Skyhook West
Wait,
was
could
the
you take one-
winningest POI on World's Edge. Probably still is statistically, I'll ask Hugo. But there is a fantastic chance here for Team Falcons to win this entire darn thing.
And they will know it. And now we talk back, or we turn
Thank you.
ourselves, I should say, back to that conversation we were having about the one chance. Falcons have a free hit at it right now. No one else in the lobby is on match point. No one else in this
Is
match
Sharky the
is gonna win
IGO of Seoul?
tournament.
Probably because he was the IGO from majority of
That's
his
interesting
teams.
for a few reasons. One, everyone knows that Falcons are dropping at Sky West. Everyone knows probably where Falcons are gonna be rotating from. But two, Falcons really can kind of put the nerves up everyone else. Because Falcons, if they do it here, it would be with everybody looking at them. It would be an insane thing to do as the first seed, the first team to hit match point, to set a new record, to break that curse,
Up, like,
and go through to be champions.
Crazy thing is,
someone
here as well,
check
they're running
how's
Catalyst
controlling.
already, and I don't know if this is foresight from them or just a
Someone
happy
check that
coincidence. A lot
motherfucker,
of the
huh?
lobby are going to move to
Well,
Catalyst
I'm
now
too
because
chat, I'm too tired. Chat, I am. Bro, I'm way too tired. I can't, bro. I can't. I'll be streaming tomorrow because we're recruiting people since we kicked Pain. Alright, bro.